That is sexy. He know it
Yeah,
though.
Yeah,
he,
come on.
he
Okay,
know it.
be careful. We're live now. Hang on. So, okay, we're live on all of them. I'm going to play the intro in a second, but
Okay.
what did I want to say? Let's see. So, yeah, we're live on all the
Yeah, it
platforms.
just came up on the phone. Uh-huh.
So, okay, so you have a chat. Oh, I didn't put the Zoom up. That's okay. So if you have a phone, you can go to my page and you can look at because that's where most of the people will be. You can look at any questions or comments from that page. Uh,
Okay.
Todd Medina on Facebook. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
all right,
That would be
and
great. I think we're just gonna be probably just use about an hour or so, but
okay, right on. All
yeah.
right, so I'm going to do what? I'm going. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so uh, let me back out.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm here. Let me go here. All right, so I'm going to play it, and as soon as I finish, your mics are on. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as it's finished playing and it goes off the screen, then you guys can start.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Todd. See you in a
that's
minute.
no problema. Hang on. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom.
We, the light workers, in perfect joy, quietly expand unconditional love. Spin now ever so gently as you warm yourself. For we, the light workers, are back from eons of time behind and ahead. May love, laughter, and tears of joy rain now and forevermore upon your face. And so be it, and so be it, and so be it. Thank you. Oh, mother, my tears fall upon your face. I just remembered. We, the light workers, have returned to spread our web of love around you. From distant stars and galaxies, from lives past, present, and future, we come to guide your healing. We, the light workers, one soul to another, touch the hearts of many each day. With each recognition, we laugh, smile, and cry. Our love is abundant, flowing, and shimmering. Invocation to the light and prayer to Mother Earth. I live within the light, and I love within the light. I laugh within the light. I am sustained and nourished by the light. I joyously serve the light, for I am light. I am light. I am light. I am that I am in all I do.
Okay, here we go. You are. Oop, you're ready. You're good.
Peace, 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 everybody. How are you? How's my sacred sister Jamie?
I am awesome. How are you doing, beautiful?
Oh my God, you look so freaking
My
awesome.
goodness. Well, you're beautiful as always, especially the energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll tell you, it was so many things that I had in mind of doing, but you know what? This energy just carries us to and fro and up and down and in and out, and you just have to roll with it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
ma'am.
So I think anything that could have popped up, it attempted to, you know. And but I feel really good because it just feels different. Today just feels like a different day. Well, I guess it is different in a way, you know.
Yes.
Um, so what I want to do was start out by reading one of the prayers, one of the sacred prayers in the prayers to the seven sacred flames. And I'll try it. Let's do this one. Invocation. The book that I'm reading from is this. If anybody's interested in purchasing it, it's a beautiful gift, gifted to me by Honeybee and Michael in the Cosmos. Invocation to the light. I live within the light and I love within the light. I laugh within the light. I am sustained and nourished by the light. I joyously serve the light, for I am light. I am light. I am light. I am that I am in all that I do. So be it, and so be it, and so be it, and so are you. All right.
Amen.
Jamie, sis, we have so much to talk about. I think an hour is just not nearly enough time for us to do what we need to do. But you know what? We're gonna put as much out there as we can, and we're gonna make everybody. We're gonna give everybody some of that love and that energy that's coming through us, and we'll receive it from them in the divine positive light. We're here to uplift everybody. Our intent is to enlighten you to another level as you enlighten us. You go ahead and start typing in your questions if you got any questions that you know that you want to ask. And also, we'll try to answer your questions as best as we can. We're going to do this and send out some very, very positive healing energy of the violet flame to our sister, Divine Lady Ninhursag, Katina Elliott. She was listed as my co host, but she became ill and everything. She wasn't feeling well. And so we can certainly understand that things happen, and she just probably needs some rest. And we're going to send that divine love energy out to you, the violet flame. Sister Katina, here's our love, and we send that healing energy to you. All right. And anybody else that needs the violet flame energy, accept it from us, from our divine heart as sisters of divine love. And within that deep part of the violet flame, we're here to assist you, we're here to help you, and we're here to heal you as well, ourselves as well as you. Okay. So you can start typing in your questions. And what I'll do is briefly read a bio, a short bio of my sacred sister, Jamie Williams. Um, Jamie is a very, very dear sweetheart, young lady. I met a bit ago, and immediately I knew that she was something different, and I resonated toward her very, very quickly. I looked at her Facebook page and her bio, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I need to connect with this sacred sister. And ever since then, we've been just like that. She's a
Absolutely.
beautiful person, inside and out. And don't let her looks fool you. She's beautiful physically, but oh my God, this one right here, she's special. She's special.
Thank you.
Take it from Umi out of my mouth. This one's special. All right, her name is Jamie Williams. She is an initiate of Earth's spiritual hierarchy, the Great White Brotherhood, white referring to the color of the auras, also modified as the Great Brotherhood of Light. As a pure vessel of love, Liam is an electrode of the Great White Brotherhood and connected to their Christed group consciousness. That's powerful. Through her very own I am presence. She walks the earth as an example and has been given keys to mentor those who are led to walk this path and ultimately realizing the greater works. Just as Yeshua prophesied, you will do greater works. And all that she has learned, she is here in service to give. That's my dear heart, Jamie Williams. Now, on a side note, I am in a recording studio, and there's several recording studios in front of me on the side, and they are doing recordings as well. So if you hear different types of music or sound, they have just as much right to do their recording as I have to do mine, and so we'll have to be respectful of that. Keep in mind that any of the tones that come into this studio is automatically transmuted to that of divine love if the vibrational frequency is not, within that 5D vibrational frequency. So don't worry about nothing. You may hear a little something you may like, but trust me, it's okay. Take a big, deep breath and say it's okay. It's okay. All right, dear. So what in the world are we going to talk about shouldn't even be the question. Is so much going on, Sister Jamie. I don't even know where to start. It's so much
Yes.
going on. Do you not feel that
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
that vibrational
Absolutely. The
frequency?
energies are very, very intense. Intense energies. There's a lot going on with everybody. Even those that does not have any idea what's going on, everyone has been affected by it.
Yes.
And today has been just really a crazy day, speaking of high energies.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I'm trying to find Todd's page while I'm talking to you. Um, it's been everything, all kind of ups and downs, ins and outs. Lord, I mean, you name it. And I've actually experienced that as well. You can't really run like a stork and bury your head in the sand and say this is not happening. This is not going to happen. That's not logical. But sometimes you feel like doing that. Uh,
Absolutely.
Everything from children to everything. Hang on just one second. Yeah, everything from children issues to maybe finances or
Yes.
uh, uh, I mean, just all kinds of things that are coming up. So you know that something is going on. Well, I listened to one of Todd's shows that he did earlier today, and I think his guest was Joseph Delaney. That show was very, very powerful in that it brought out the fact that the shift, the energy that's coming through now is just totally, totally different from what we've been experiencing. Of course, you know, all that stuff, all those frequencies have been taken to another level now. So I'm going to bring out some pointers, and Jamie, maybe we can talk about this a little bit. The
Okay.
that was mentioned was the energy that's coming in would be referred to as truth frequency. Uh, truth, TRUTH,
Truth
frequency
frequency.
are 5D, and I want to say beyond frequency for those that are vibrating way, way on up there. But truth frequency, we're going to talk about that a little bit and what that could possibly mean. And in my opinion, I think it basically talks about that everything is being, how can I say, exposed. Everything. The truth frequency means that you will be seen as you are. There's no hiding again. You're going to say one thing out of your mouth, but but your hearts are going to be way over somewhere else. Maybe you don't intend to be that way, but that's the way that this true frequency shows you to be. It's going to expose everything from presidential elections to your deepest hidden secrets that's inside of you that you think nobody knows about, right? So, Jamie, if you want to chime in a little bit on that truth frequency, that's just my opinion. I think everything is being exposed.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Is basically what I would say that the truth frequency would be. And we are at that hour. So we're going to live in an
Yeah.
hour of
Hmm.
5D frequency. That is
Yeah.
truth. We're living back as our true selves. And
Hmm.
in order to get to that true self, then everything must come up that is not the truth, who your true identity really is. And our
Yeah.
true identity is Christ. You know, we have our I am presence, but our true selves is our Christ self, the Holy Christ self.
Hmm.
Um, and so in order to get back to that Holy Christ self, of course,
Hmm.
everything that is not of that is I call it, or as the ascended masters call it, that is unreality
Uh-huh.
come up. And so that's what we're seeing right now
Hmm.
in everybody, even those again that are not really even on the path. Is
Yes.
coming up out, like you said, they're being exposed in the presidential elections, the presidential races, things. People are trying to hide behind
Hmm.
those same lies that they used to hide behind. That's not working
Absolutely.
anymore.
Hmm.
It's not working anymore. If things are just being exposed left and right. And so that's what we are thinking. And I'm so grateful for that because it
Yes.
shows that we're getting closer to living in that fifth dimensional frequency and beyond as
Hmm.
we are intending to move
Hmm.
into.
Absolutely. And like I say, if whether or not you still, if you're on the planet, you're still going to receive this frequency. The
Right.
thing is your level of consciousness and how you process it would be the thing. Have you noticed that food is even tasting different? My appetite has tremendously changed.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe eat one meal a day. And I'm a pretty big lady, you know. I'm kind of tall, and I
Tall.
tower over everybody. And I used to eat maybe a couple of 2 or 3 meals a day, but now it's just. And even when I eat that, I kind of have to force myself. But I find myself taking a lot of herbs and organic vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
drinking a lot of water. I had a really nice, long walk in the park yesterday where I was completely barefooted and just did not want to turn that grass loose.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yes, and you could actually see the particles on the grass. And if you go outside and you just put I'm a tree hugger. Put your hand on a
Mm-hmm.
tree and ask permission. You know, the trees are living entities too. Touch them and exchange energies, and you'll be amazed at what you see. Also, I'm noticing a lot of signs that are appearing that I didn't see before. The falling leaves, how the leaves will fall from the trees. Some of them will fall right in front of your face. What does that mean? That it's like, I know you see me.
Mm-hmm.
What does all of these things mean? You're seeing different colors of birds, or you may see animals that cross your path and then all of a sudden they'll stop and take a pose and look at you and things like that. So consciousness is beautiful. This whole ascension process is absolutely beautiful. Uh, but you are being made to process that. So the worst part of you is also coming up too. The true frequency is going inside of you and making all that stuff come up to the surface. And you're wondering what the heck's going on. I know I cried quite a bit the
Mm-hmm.
other day. And I'm like, what in the world? Had a session with my inner child. And I cried because I was in the process of releasing a lot of that stuff that had been stuck down in there. So so if anybody has any questions, I'm looking at one comment that says dealing with coping with, her name is Patricia Shope. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Patricia. Coping with depression during the shift. Um, so we might want to talk a little bit about that, Jamie. How does a person cope with depression during a shift? Lots of that going on now.
Yes. Yes, I have saw that a lot of depression is going on during this shift. For a lot of people that I've spoken with, that's their concern. But then again, the depression is actually the feelings that are coming up that are not true to your real self.
Yes.
And so what I've realized about how to calm these feelings of depression, they're just emotions. And again, they're not real. I know it feels like it's real. I can't say
Right.
that it's not real, because when you're experiencing it, definitely feels like it's a real
Feel
thing.
real.
But again, there are tools that can be used to help you to clear. And the biggest thing that I've been given, again, from the Ascended Masters, is the violet flame. That has been the most powerful gift of transmutation, because what that depression is, again, it's the things that are not real. And so these are the things that has to be healed and transmuted from within you. And so what the violet flame does is a purple ray, and is handed down again from the Great White Brotherhood, from Ascended Master Saint Germain, which actually he brought this violet flame to the earth in 1930, but we're just now getting on the board with it as this ascension process is moving on. And again, it's a flame that helps to transmute all of the stuff that is not real. It helps to clear, it heals past life trauma, the things, your karma from past lives and from this life. You're dealing with things from many lives that you've had before this one too. And that's another thing that people have to realize, is that they're not only dealing with this stuff that they're dealing with in this lifetime. We're dealing with some thousands of years, some millions of years has been on this planet and going through that soul evolution. And again, the most powerful thing that I can share with you would be the violet flame. And
absolutely.
You might contact me in my, on my Facebook inbox. You're welcome, and I will share with you very many detailed aspects and how to use this flame, decrees and things like that. But that will absolutely help you.
I know it has really made a huge impact on my life. These last few months, I've been doing the decrees. I've read as much information as I could read. Well, as much as I could get my hands on the violet flame. Looked at videos. I'll sleep with the tones of the violet flame playing and stuff, and I'm beginning to see a huge results in my health, transforming everything that that I even doubted. It's just like it just going out. That you can just even if you just imagine, if you give acknowledgement to it. And I mean, many people may not know what the violet flame is. If you look at a rainbow and you look at the prisms, the colors in the prisms of the rainbow, the violet ray in that rainbow seems to fade on off into the blue yonder. Well, that's one of the highest vibrating flames that we can actually see with our eyes. If we take a prism or maybe a crystal and let it sit in the sunlight and see the rays, or look at a rainbow and whatnot. But so we can utilize that energy. It's an energy, and once you fall on this violet flame or this, it's absolutely breathtaking. There's no experience like it. I have a huge geode crystal amethyst that I was gifted for my birthday, and I mean, it is huge. And I'll do my decrees and my prayers and my chants and things with that crystal by, and I can just feel the tingling in it. If you're struggling with depression, call upon the violet flame. Look up Saint Germain and the connection and the gift that he has brought to the planet called the violet flame. And you will not be sorry. You're listening to this show because this is the message that we are giving to you. You called us to come forward with help, with some help that you needed. You needed answers to your questions. You probably didn't even know what question you wanted to ask. But one of the answers before you even ask the question is go to the violet flame. That's going to give you a lot of answers there. One guy says, Richard Simonite Semonite, says, we are one, no divisions, no boundaries, no nothing but unconditional love. But what the violet flame does, it transmutes everything into this. It transmutes everything that's not in alignment back to its original source. How can I say, self? It transmutes you back. It takes you back. So, yes, violet flame. Oh boy, we get some really good comments here. Sort of knowing nothing. My says, observe and holding space to all sweet dreams and radiating love, love energy.
It's
Thank
beautiful.
you, thank you. That was Dawn Bowers Cantor. So guys, ask questions. That's what this show is all about. Asking, asking Q&A. I know you all are curious out as to what's going on. Um, and you notice that there are changes. You don't even have to have a question. Put your comments in there. Anything that you think that you want us to discuss, just put it in the question and answer form and we'll try to discuss it. So did you want to expound anything any more on the violet flame, or we can probably bring that up maybe near the end of the show, Jamie, to kind of enhance that violet flame energy at the end when we're closing out, to give them a little gift of that
Yes.
nature.
I'm actually feeling led to give that violet flame decree that I say every
Okay.
day, end of the show, to give that decree and give everybody a the taste of it, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I'm being called to do that, so I'm gonna do that at the end of the show.
I have it too. I have it with me, so that's
Okay, you will say it with me.
that's powerful. That's powerful. Okay, so we've got, Richard Simonite says, peace and love from England. Peace and love to you, my dear. Thank you, thank you. We received that. We receive it and back at you. How about that? Okay, it says, observing my human side. Okay, I'm not sure about what that means, but we'll flow with it for right now. So another point that I wanted to make up, that I want to talk about was us tuning into ourselves and communicating with ourselves. That would go a little bit into the inner child and seeking that pureness or that innocentness that is inside of us, call our inner child, our bright divine light, and getting to that. There's so much clutter there, and so many falsehoods and so many distortions within ourselves. And believe it or not, the light or the frequency that's coming in now is really clearing all of that. That's what the violet flame does as well. It's clearing all those distortions where you're kind of like forced to face your own self.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually conversing back and forth with yourself, and you're actually answering yourself. So type in what kind of questions you're actually asking yourself and the answers that you're coming up with. That would be an interesting conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is something that had kind of puzzled across my mind is, do we fit into the 3D world? As opposed to switching over to the 5D world? Are you comfortable at where you are now? Can you give some examples about living in the 3D world? I mean, it shouldn't be very hard, but Jamie, can you talk about some 3D situations and then switching over to 5D?
Well, the whole aspect of separation,
Mm-hmm.
the division aspect is probably the biggest thing with me,
Mm-hmm.
that plays out,
Mm-hmm.
and I see playing out a whole lot in most people's lives that are around me.
Mm-hmm.
Still dealing with that third dimensional aspect.
Yes.
The thing is that once you go back to the center of your heart, into that space, into that high heart, back to that oneness, you no longer see things in that I, you, we,
Yeah.
me. You don't
Yes.
see things like that anymore, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing I still see a lot of that, and that is kind of confusing for people, because once you tell people to tap into that oneness aspect, they think that that takes away your individuality.
Mhm.
And it's not saying that you are not still your individual self. It's just saying that that oneness is in that, you go back to that oneness in God, that space of just interacting in peace and harmony and full alignment.
Mhm.
And that is that gets confusing for most people, but that is one of the biggest examples that I have, that I see a whole lot in this third dimensional world, working even within my family. You know, I have children, watching
yeah.
them
Yeah.
struggle with that
Yeah.
whole
Absolutely.
separation, division aspect, and to explain that, you know, you still have your individuality. We're all divine sparks from the Creator,
Mhm.
but we're created as we're different. We have different missions. We have different likes
Yeah.
and dislikes and things like that. And I'm talking about even according to our real selves, our Christ selves.
Yeah.
We come to bring a different aspect to the whole of creation.
Mhm.
You know, God is living through us,
Mhm.
watching these individual lives unfold as sparks of Himself, herself.
Mhm.
And just that is very difficult for people to wrap their mind around. So just like I said, just sitting back and still observing that whole aspect is just
It's
that kind of still
something.
kind of takes me aback.
Yeah. And then sometimes, I know when I first got on the path of ascension, I used to say things like, well, why did I even have to wake up? I was doing
Mm,
fine. I was comfortable here, and
mm,
everything just seems so overwhelming, and I don't know. I feel like I'm being left behind, and I can't think like them, and I can't do this, and
mhm.
it was always in the three-dimensional vibration. You're going to always find excuses for
Absolutely.
not accepting responsibility. You volunteered, we volunteered to come here and bring light into this 20th century. We
Mhm.
decided that we wanted to do that. So
Absolutely.
we incarnated here at this particular time to do that. So part of your soul contract is to take that responsibility and take it seriously, right? So
Absolutely.
um, part of releasing a lot of the three-dimensional energy is to the first big step is to take responsibility for what you said that you were going to do, and your inside, your soul remembers it. You sit
Hmm.
down and you do like maybe a 5 or 10 minute meditation every day, and you'll begin to see it. You'll begin to hear it. You'll begin to start talking to yourself and coming up with the correct answers, as to why you're in the condition that you're in. And definitely when you make a move forward, a more positive move forward for yourself, you're doing it for the collective as well, because in this whole thing, there's no big eyes and little U's. Everybody got a part to play in this,
Absolutely.
even though we're one. Source has everything in it. It's not just one, but yet, I mean, it's not just one big I doing everything and this, that, the other. All of us are doing this together as one. So we don't look at, we don't look down on people being judgmental. I think that was brought up in a couple of the shows earlier as judging and things of
Hmm.
that nature. That's kind of part of a 3D. I would call it a program too. What do you think,
It's the
Jamie?
program.
It's kind
I
of
agree.
part of that mentality that they have you stuck in. If someone dresses better, or if someone has a new car, or if they have a better job, or things of that nature, we tend to think that that person is better than the
Oh my goodness.
person that,
Yes.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so,
there are very many programs
uh-huh,
that keep us
yeah,
trapped, will keep most trapped in that third dimensional aspect. And they were all purposely put out there in order to
yeah,
keep
absolutely.
everybody in that.
Hmm. Keep you to keep you distracted. Uh,
Absolutely.
and so, well, all righty. Moving right along. Let's see what else that we have on here. Choices. Um, what's being presented now is we're being presented with the choices of whether or not we're going to move forward, or we're going to stay where we're at. Are we going to grow? Or are we not? Yes or no? Those are the choices.
Mhm.
And what's being presented? Well, what's being presented to me may be different from what's being presented to you. You know, I live in Macon, Georgia. Jamie lives in Hot Springs, Arkansas, somewhere there in Arkansas. And her life, her experience may be a little bit different, but sooner or later, we're going to have to come to the point of the same choices in which what we're going to do with each individual situation. He has children, I have children. I'm sure that we probably experience some of the same things that children go through in their growth period and stuff.
Mhm.
So she may have handled it different, but she may have handled it the exact same way. But my point here is that we're being presented with choices, and the closer we get to as we near the end of the year, 2020 was representing a year of clear vision or clarity for everyone, the real truth, the truth frequency, the truth is coming out. So you're either going to be truthful and tell the truth, or you're not, you know. And I'm not going to judge anybody. I just do the best that I can do to try to speak my truth. I have issues, I'll say, speaking how I need to phrase word things. I
Mhm.
know what I want to say, but sometimes I may not have uh, the right words or to present it right. But my heart is good, and I want to. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I wouldn't come on the screen because I needed dental work. I was afraid people were gonna judge me and look at me and and laugh or whatever. But all that's gone. I really don't give a flip about what nobody think about what I
There it
look like.
is.
I love me, and I'm good with you not loving me or loving me. I'm still good, and I'm gonna be me. It's just my time to speak my truth and navigate through on of my ladder. The Bible calls it Jacob's ladder. Your chakras going on up the ladder of truth until you get to a high resonating point where you'll have maybe another assignment. You can go further and further on up. It never ends. It just continues to
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So, Jamie, did you want to speak a little bit on choices and how we can make better choices navigating through this situation? Oh, and another thing, speak on coming up the cardinal point in December. We've got um, it's called a cardinal point, but for lack of a better word, it's a culmination of all of this ascension energy uh, coming just really, really strong by the 21st of December, between 21st and 25th of December. All the planets will line up on this side of the universe and even
Mhm.
on the other side of the universe. And a huge, powerful energy will be there for us to just shift on through, right? You do a little bit of research on it, but there's quite a bit of information out there on what's taking place between the month of December and January the 1st. And you might want to do some research and chime in on that and see what that means to you. So, but Jamie, you can go ahead and speak on the choices and how we can make better choices, uh, and trying to uh, discern what's really going on with us and how it's being presented as we shift through this 5D frequency.
Well, the foundation, again, speaking with the Ascended Masters,
Uh-huh.
and the way that I have been trained in order to really begin to take hold of that process of making better choices is to better understand myself and how I make my makeup. And this is everybody, every live stream that's here has that same general makeup. We know we're all souls, but we have 7 bodies that our soul is clothed in. We have 4 lower bodies that they're clothed in that navigates us. It's like a vehicle that navigates us through the earth.
Okay.
And so the 3 higher bodies, that's more like your heavenly bodies, is going to consist of your holy Christ self.
Mhm.
your I am presence, and then what's called the causal body, which is that those the 7 rays. As you're reading the book, The 7 Rays, where those 7 rays are resident of that causal body that's around your I am presence.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So once you begin to realize that, when you say talk to yourself or listen to yourself,
Mhm.
what are you listening to? So you begin to tap into your inside. You're actually listening to your I am, your Holy Christ self, which
Mhm.
is considered your higher self. People hear their
Right.
higher self. That's your Holy Christ self or your Christ self.
Mhm.
That's a part of your 7 main bodies.
Okay.
This Christ self is constantly attempting to talk to you. So that voice that you're hearing that's guiding you in the right direction, that you know is guiding to the right things to do, your conscience, that's your Christ self, that you're actually attempting to raise your soul through the ascension process to rejoin that Christ self again. And
Mm.
then that Christ self is that's the only way to the Father, which is your I am present. So that's what that
Mm.
meant when Jesus said, no one comes to the Father except through me, because he had fully become the Christ.
All
So
right
once
now.
he was rid of the Christ self,
Mhm.
then he was able to go to the Father, which is the I am presence. And that's the ascension. That's the full ascension. That's what we're all on our way to, is to
Mm-mm-mm.
become one with that God I am presence. So once you are in this situation that we're in, you begin to understand those things, and you begin to meditate on your Holy Christ self. And your Holy Christ is always speaking to you. When we have lost connection, our soul has lost connection,
Wow.
because it's
Yeah.
very dense in this, of course, in this third dimensional realm.
Uh-huh.
And this Christ self is going to speak to you, and it will present these choices to you, the right way to go, nudging you all the time, of the right choices to make or the wrong choices to make, or this is not right. It's always guiding you. Well, we also have other parts of our system, our body, that's also helping us. We have our chakras, and we know that through the seat of the soul chakra, which is your sacral chakra. The ascended masters call that your seat of the soul. So that's kind of where that seat of the actual soul is located, and you actually tap into that. So the more you clear your chakras through doing that work, then you're able to tap into, you can hear exactly what that inner self is saying. You're actually able to hear what the Holy Christ self is saying. And then
Wow.
begin to move up that ladder. But a lot of people don't really, they're doing this work already. They're just not realizing what everything is called and who they're talking to. They know I'm talking to myself, but not really
Exactly.
understanding what parts of themselves that they're speaking to. And
Wow.
so that's what that is. And so you
Wow.
have a very beautiful system that you are brought or sent into the earth with, that is helping you at all times. And then of course we have angelic beings that send out these synchronicities. If we pay close attention to our surroundings, and you begin to see synchronicities, but that's just the angelic beings, or even it's pretty much yourself to
Yeah.
trying to get some information to you, or this is the right direction to go in. A lot of people notice the repeating numbers or
Yeah.
billboards and signs or things like that. So those are all the ways to help you to make the right choices. And that's
Wow.
a little bit
Yeah.
of information.
Some practicing on that. That's very interesting. The lower bodies. Yeah.
Mhm.
The which a lot of that stuff, a lot of the traumas, and kind of rough experiences are kind of just set in there. If you haven't forgiven your family for something, or if you had traumatic experiences with money or men, or whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
a lot of that energy is stuck in the sacral, and in the this, from the sacral to the root sacral or solar plexus chakra.
Absolutely.
And once
Absolutely.
you there's chants, mantras that you can do to start loosening that up, working with the kundalini mantras and things of
Mhm.
that nature, going outside, stepping on the ground, and just stand there a few minutes and take into your imagination that you have your beautiful etheric core going down into the ground and connecting with Gaia, and connecting, and you'll actually feel it once you make that connection. Know that you're going to make it, and you'll feel it come straight up through your kundalini.
Absolutely.
uh, and if you do that at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm not even saying doing it every day. If you did that, We're living in critical times, so you might ought to want to go ahead on and do it,
Mm-hmm.
so you can take advantage of this beautiful energy that's coming in, that we're receiving. You're gonna see a massive change in your life. I have one person that her name is Jennifer Ray says, I saw the violet flame a few years ago at night. It swept over my partner,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was like a wave, a beautiful purple haze, like a cloud blanket. Thank you, Jennifer Ray.
Wow,
That,
beautiful.
that's
Wow.
powerful. Yes, I could feel that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. She said that, and then another person, Andy Hanna says, we need a group meditation to anchor in the violet flame. Yes, there are several group meditations. You can even start your own group meditation with the violet flame of Saint Germain. There's plenty of information on the internet, or like Jamie said, you can message her in her inbox, or you can message me, and we'll give you as much information as you need to chime into that particular energy frequency. It's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I can
Mm-hmm.
honestly say that myself. Oh, somebody says we have halos over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Another thing about choices. Uh, when you if someone wants you to make a choice, sometimes people will come into this space where they want you to pick who you like, or choices on whether or not you're going to be friends with this person or that person, or they'll have a conversation with you and want you to go ahead on and make a definite decision about this, that, or the other. So when your backup is against the wall, what do you do? What do you do? What choices do you make? Sometimes the best thing is to not say nothing at all. Say, I don't want to give a comment. I think it was said earlier. How do you say no?
Mm,
You just say no. I
yeah.
had a problem telling people no in my younger days. Every now and then I'll still do it, because it's
Mhm.
like, well, am I going to hurt their feelings if I say no? What about you? Is it something that's going to help you process? So these are the things that we're being presented with now. What choices are we going to make? Are we going to move forward and just wonder about what everybody think of us? Are they going to think we're crazy or we're weird because we're talking about ascension? We're talking about not harming the animals on the planet and not eating and just going back to the regular herbs that we were, originally eating, changing the diet, walking in the morning and taking in the sun, and other people looking back and thinking that we're nuts for doing that. Well, she getting up that early and sitting in the sun for. Those are the choices that you're going to be presented with once you get deep off into this path. I've got friends that's way beyond this point that are talking about, and funny enough, I understand everything that all of them are talking about, from the high vibrational ascended masters, or people that I actually come in contact with, to the lowest. I can understand what they're saying. Have you ran across that, Jamie?
Oh,
We'll be
absolutely.
talking
Because well,
about DNA and different parts of various decrees and what they mean, and I mean all kind of subjects, and it can be really overwhelming if you don't be careful.
yeah, well, it does get very, very overwhelming. It's a process as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important not to beat yourself up if you don't know all the terminology and all these words and all this stuff. It when
Mm-hmm.
the student is ready, the teacher always appears. So when you are
Yep.
truly ready, it will come to you. And if your heart is there, you're ready to learn, is on its way to you. I just wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
worry about all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have a question here from Andy Hanna. Do you all see certain energetic frequency ranges from the different dimensions? That's his question. Do you all see certain energetic frequency ranges from different dimensions? I would say that frequency is energy. frequency, energy, frequency vibrates, and vibration is motion or movement. That's how you're gonna hear it because it's energy. Energy has energy is frequency. I mean, and that's the best way I can explain it, or a different dimension. Jamie, what do you have to say about
I absolutely agree with what you're saying on that. But the answer would be yes, I do see different um, as far as moving up in frequency and seeing the different
that? Dimension.
vibrations, or maybe spiritual beings, or
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're speaking of colors and things like that. Once you move into a different level of a layer of consciousness, but yes, I'm able to see different higher octave life forms and colors, and the colors are very vibrant. It's really not a lot. It's very hard to explain because we really don't see those in the lower dimensions the same color scale. But I think a lot of people that's moving up into the fifth dimensional aspect are seeing these very vibrant newer colors coming in.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, yeah. I know some exercises that I've done. I've taken literally thousands of pictures of myself.
Oh,
And yeah, and I watch my spiritual growth. That's how you can kind of gauge too, about where you're at. You'll just take your cell phone and you'll have the sun behind your head. And once you have the sun behind your head, you'll snap a picture and it'll show what many call your Merkaba, or it'll show your essence glowing out. Uh, and sometimes you'll even see a green ray or a purple ray or a pink magenta ray or something coming out as well. So that's like I say, my kids thought I was nuts standing out in the sun 24/7, especially in 2017 and 2018 when that golden halo developed around my head. I mean that work paid off. I'm
that's right.
still working. Yeah, it pays off and everything. But does it mean that I walk around seeing beings floating in the air? No. It means I have the ability to do it if I want to, you know. But and the opportunity is there. Um, but yeah, so I hope that answered your question um, about the dimensions and seeing different energetic frequencies. Some people are blessed to do that. You can see auras. When people can see auras, most babies see auras around people's bodies. Um, that's a frequency they're looking at. Most babies, they come here already high vibrational, and they never really. Most of them will look around your head before they determine whether they want to come to you or not. And so, different oral frequencies will have different vibrations, and sometimes the babies like it, and sometimes they don't. So, but okay, so this guy here says, Rogan Rokon says the violet flame is massively powerful. When I was
Absolutely.
performing my energy work, the person I was working on could feel the transformation into the golden rainbow light that I used the violet flame to purify within myself.
Yes.
That's
That's
powerful.
that's
That's
it.
powerful. That's it. That's it right there. That's exactly what you use it for. It is utilized for that. Imagine if you can you imagine taking yourself into a realm where you just visualize, or take yourself into a meditation and visualize the entire planet being surrounded with the violet flame of transmutation. Everything is shifting. Actually, it is happening. It is happening. The violet flame of transmutation is happening. It's shifting everything and making the real truth. It's called the truth frequency come out because the violet flame transmutes everything, right? So that's a powerful, powerful statement there. That's awesome. Thank you, Rogan, for that. Let's see. Richard Simonite says meditation is the key right now. From my heart, manifest thoughts into reality, invested with full intention. That's perfect.
Yes, beautiful. Absolutely.
Perfect for meditation on the violet ray. Let me go on down here. I'm trying to read. If you can go ahead on and expand, Jamie, if you want to. I'm trying to catch up on some of these questions because we got a lot of comments and I haven't gotten to nearby.
Expand on
Mm,
the violet ray.
mm-hmm. Many, no, not on the, it's, we have Mary Owen says, many are choosing to focus on everything external instead of looking within.
That's right.
Yes. And then, let's see here. There's my friend Michael. Oh boy. Oh, that's something else there. So keeping it right, we haven't gotten, come on, let's ask some questions. I know we have maybe about 5 more minutes. So we need to get this show on the road and and put that violet flame out there and let it start working. I guess we've already really done that. Let's see, speaking from a space of neutrality, um, people not knowing what to do and making the correct choices right now. Uh, we are all in the process of growing as children. Each soul has its own agenda, and uh, the vibrations must match to your higher soul. We can talk about that. Unresolved pain and unresolved programming that will stay stuck in your sacral and your root chakra, and that's one thing that you can use the violet flame for. um, and things that that automatically triggers you. Those are
Mhm.
things that you really need to work on. So can you talk about maybe the soul contract, Jamie, a little bit, and what is that all about? When we came here, we signed a soul contract to do certain things. And it wasn't just this lifetime, it's been probably in numerous lifetimes that we came here to do that and failed to do it. But now is our chance to really, really do it.
Yes. Yes. Each soul that actually every live stream that's here, we originally came from
Uh-huh.
the source, the great central sun, and we all chose, we asked to come here.
Mhm.
We asked for that free will to be given the opportunity to experience free will. And we had the opportunity to come and either choose that human consciousness or the human will, or to choose God's will. And those were like the two main choices that you had coming into this dimension, coming into the lower spheres.
Mhm.
And so, yes, we had the soul contract. We had, each of us have certain missions that we came to Earth that we're responsible
Mhm.
to do.
Mhm.
Of
And
course, everybody the most people that I know of have got off course. And
mm,
again, there's been people here very thousands of years. There's been people here maybe a million years. There's been people here several different lifetimes that has got off track. And so
mm,
once you step out of God's will, the first time you step out of God's will in this dimension, now you're into the will of karma
mhm,
that puts you into that karmic wheel, and you
mhm,
have to clear that karma. So that's how we continue to come back lifetime after lifetime. It's because we're constantly
mhm,
clearing the as we misuse God's sacred energy, we have to clear
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Then we also have to clear the same energy that we've done against people, because usually it's against someone
Yeah.
else.
Usually.
We've done
Uh-huh.
things to different people. So there's each lifetime, you more than likely are going to come back with a family. You're going to encounter the same people that you've encountered over and over and over, because you have to work out those karmic contracts and clear
Wow.
these things. You can meet people, or especially your close family,
Mhm.
your children or your parents that you did choose.
Mm.
But often when you're in these close contacts with these people, they know you know them. Why are you butting heads so much? Why are we having these particular problems? Where you get,
Yeah.
it's very beautiful because you're getting the
Yeah.
opportunity to work out
Mhm.
something that happened lifetimes ago. And so now we're at the culmination of that. For many of us, at the culmination of this final lifetime, and we have the opportunity to ascend back up that ladder now. And that's what people have to understand about. Once you come here as a soul, you have a certain amount of time that is really given you. And people, I've heard people say, you have people saying that, well, you have an unlimited amount of time to do what you need to do. And I'm talking about the ascended masters. You've been given a certain amount of time to come and do what you have been called to do. Now you are given grace over and over and over again in order to come back and clear, because God doesn't want to see anybody. What they call that second death, so to speak. And I know that's harsh, but I can explain it a little better. But it's not as bad as it seems. That second death is basically if you are not in that God's will, then the sacred fire will literally burn you. That's what that fire is. That second death, it really burns you. It annihilates you because you're not in that same momentum as the sacred fire or God's fire. And so that's what that really means. If you just have blatantly chosen to continue to stay and just do evil things, then you're not for God. And eventually God separates itself from you. You're given a certain amount of time. And so at this point, we're in the culmination, we're at the end of an age. And so that's why we have this mass ascension going on. We're at that hour. And so you have so many light codes. You have very many higher vibrational beings that are helping and aiding us right now. I mean, you have the 7 holy Kumars, you have the different planets, and you have the Galactic Federation of Life, you have the air unit. You have so many beings that are helping Earth humanity right now to ascend, because we're at the end of an age, and it's time to cross over to that that seventh age, that golden age. And so that's what the soul contracts. We were given that time, and for most of us, that time is kind of up, and that's why it's kind of like hurry up and ascend with the planet, because the planet has earned her. If we're going with Earth, we need to get on board and do the work.
Yeah, we're going with you without you. That was what I brought up earlier about choices. You got a choice that you have to make, and your soul knows it. Your soul you have been confronted with so many things right in front of your face, and you ignored it, and you keep ignoring it, thinking that it's gonna go away. Well, it doesn't go away. It goes right back down into that root of that sacral chakra and stays there, and it's presented to you at another time. But what's happening now, we moved over from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius, or the age of spirituality, of enlightenment. And Saint Germain is over that, the violet flame dispensation of the purple ray, to transmute all of that was not true. But only you can make the choice to use that energy, to transform it. So you have to make that choice. So, and I guess this will probably be one of our last questions before we read the prayer of light from Mary Felder Owens. She says, can you address how people are engaging in negative, low vibrational behaviors, emotional triggers from extreme sources? I think the question is, how are people actually how are people engaging themselves in negative, lower vibrational behaviors? I mean, that could be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's huge. It's broad. If they're still drawn to those fear programs, if they're still drawn to those fear programs, then they draw those things still to themselves. They're like a magnet. And so they're really drawing a lot of those things to themselves, and they're still engaging with that. And so they're putting that momentum out there, and they're like a magnet, and just continue to draw forth these same type of energies to themselves. And that's the biggest thing. That's how.
I mean, if you got a friend that continuously gossips about things, and you're sitting right there just listening, you're just being an open pot to let them dump that crap into you, you're actually engaging in that too. That's why I say, be careful about what you listen to, be careful about who you are around, be aware of it. You make the choice on whether or not you want to continue to allow that to flow through you. Be careful about what you look at on television, on your computer, what you read, what you see. all of this matters when it comes to lower vibrational emotions. It affects it. It affects your emotion. Be around people that are positive, that always want to have joy in seeing the other person feel great, or just give energy and give love and stuff as much as you can. Even if you don't know who you give, just say it. I give divine love to everybody. I love everybody. Feel it. You know, you don't have to be, what do you call it, levitating off the ground and oming
No,
and all of that stuff to just give a little piece back to the collective that will make a huge difference. So things are changing, and so people that get themselves involved in negative emotions and things, that's their choice. If that's what they want to do, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it.
that's right.
You
It's so
know?
perfect.
Yes. So let me scroll up and down here and see if we got any more questions before we read. You can take out the violet decree if you want, Jamie. I got it, but I gotta get it out of the.
Are you wanting to read it? Are we gonna do it simultaneously, or you want me to how are we gonna?
We can do it together.
Okay.
Let me see if I got a. I think I brought it with me. Yeah, you wouldn't believe all this junk I have in here. I mean, that's what we do, though. And anybody want a copy of the prayer of the golden light transmutation? I will send that to you as well. This, can you see that?
No, kind of.
It's called the prayer of light. Is it turned backwards? Transmutation. I will send you all a copy of that to assist and everything. We got to get busy, people. Okay, I got it. We're doing the violet fire and tube of light decree.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what we're about to do is, Jamie, you want to explain what the decree is all about and what it does?
This particular decree, it actually provides a protective light that surrounds you, and it infills. It's like a tube, literally, that is above your head and below your feet, and surrounds your body like 9 diameters around your body.
Mhm.
And inside of that tube is that violet flame, and then you think about your human physical aspect, and it's constantly protected, so nothing can get past it, nothing human. So all these things are the negativity that would try to come in just pretty much will bounce off of it. And so the more you say it bounces off, and the more you say it, the more momentum it builds, the more fire it builds up. And literally, I have pictures now that you can see the protective barrier around me. When she was Miss Umi was speaking about the light, and you can put the light on and you can see what's in your aura, in your energy field. And you can now see these energies surrounding me. So it is so for real, but you can feel it. It's the first time you ever say this decree, you feel it working all through you
Right away.
instantaneously.
Yes. And so absolutely, this is our gift to you all for listening to our show tonight. Press your share button and share it on YouTube or Facebook or what have you. And they will get that same energy, that same blessing. And so we're going to go ahead on and read. The title of this decree would be the violet fire and tube of light decree. Oh,
Oh my
my constant,
love,
loving,
I
I am
am
presence, thou
thou light of
light
God
of God
above,
above me, whose radiance
radiance forms
forms
a
a
circle
circle of fire
before
before
me
me
to light my
to
way.
light my way. I am
I
faithfully
am faithfully calling to
calling to
thee
thee to place
to
a
place
great
a great
pillar
pillar of
of
light
light,
from my own mighty
own mighty I am
I
presence,
pray
all around me right
right
now,
now,
today.
today.
So what you're
Keep
gonna
it.
do is visualize the body of light coming in through your crown chakra, encircling your body, going all the way down. You should feel it because I feel tingly as I'm doing this. Feel it all the way, and it shoots straight down, and it expands about 9 feet so in diameter on all around, all sides and the top. You are actually sitting in that bubble of light,
Hmm.
right? It's called the violet flame. So now with that visualization in mind, let's keep reading. Keep it intact
And
through
through
every
every
passing moment,
moment,
manifesting
manifesting as
as
a
a
shimmering
shimmering shower
shower
of God's
of God's
beautiful
beautiful light,
light through which
through which nothing
nothing
human
human can ever
can
pass. Into
into
this
this
beautiful,
divinely chosen
into this beautiful electric circle of divinely charged energy,
energy,
direct a
direct,
swift
swift upsurge
upsurge of the
of
violet
fire,
fire of
of
freedom's
freedom's
forgiving,
forgiving, transmuting
transmuting flame.
flame.
This is when you will feel it coming up through your kundalini, going up and down, Jacob's ladder, up and down. You should feel that. Cause the ever expanding energy of this flame projected downward
Work
into
into
the force
the
field
force field
of
of
my
my human
human energies to
to
completely
completely
change
change
every
every
negative
negative
condition into the,
into
the positive polarity
polarity
of my
of
great
my
God self. Let the magic of its mercy so purify my world with light that all whom I contact shall always be blessed with the fragrance of violets from God's own heart, in memory of the blessed dawning day when all discord, cause, effect, record, and memory is forever changed into the victory of light and the peace of the ascended Jesus the Christ and all ascended masters. I am now constantly accepting the full power and manifestation of this fiat of light and calling it into instantaneous action by my own God given free will and the power to accelerate without limit this sacred release of assistance from God's own heart until all men, women, and children are ascended and God free in the light that never, never, never fails.
amen.
So be it, and so be it, and so be it. So, Sister Jamie and I, we leave you with that blessing and with that
Amen.
powerful, powerful, powerful decree. If you would like a copy of it, message Jamie Williams or message myself, and we'll be happy to send you a copy of that. Um, get the word out about our show. Next week, we will have another Pure Soul individual on, and it will be at 7:30. And we'll look forward to seeing you then. But get the word out and spread the word that this is a show that was put together for you and to help as well as us. Let me say that it's put together to help all of us. But we're sharing with different platform guests so that you can elevate yourself and continue to elevate yourself in this new age And you know, you won't have as many issues or problems and things of that nature. So once again, I'm gonna say good night. Have a peaceful rest. I want to thank my very beautiful guest, Jamie Williams. She's such a dear heart to me, a pure soul, divine conscious soul that's
Thank
fully
you.
ascended. And she's just a beautiful being inside and out. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Jamie, for being on my show. I honor you. I honor you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes, indeed. All right, we're going to say good night to everybody and have a beautiful, beautiful night.